In this video, you will learn what trauma is, how we can process it, and the benefits of healing it. And we will do this in 3 chapters. What do you think trauma is? Trauma is quite simple to explain. What trauma really is just unprocessed emotion. To be more specific, negative unprocessed emotion. It's like emotion that is stuck inside of your body that hasn't been released. And I give you an example. Let's imagine there is a boy called Leo. He's 12 years and he lives in Paris. He is a normal boy who goes to school, but he has terrible grades. So today he received a terrible grade. It's the worst grade he has received thus far. So he goes home, and back home he gives his grade to his parents. They look at the grade and they go from 0 to 100 like this. In an instant, they shout at him, they abuse him, and then all of a sudden they hit him. Because they are so angry at him because he has such terrible grade. As soon as the parents hit him, he wants to cry. Tears start forming under his eyes, but his parents tell him, if you start to cry, we will hit you even more. So stop crying and go to your room and learn. So he tried to wish his tears away and he goes to his room. Right there and then, trauma has been formed. Because instead of releasing tears or shouting or being angry, he just kept his emotion inside of him. And there he created trauma. 8 years later, let's say he's 20, he has still this trauma inside of him because he hasn't processed this emotion. So how can you process trauma? Because we now know that trauma is unprocessed emotion. It's emotion that's stuck inside of you. So how can we heal from trauma? It's basically as simple as just releasing the emotion. Of course, it's easier said than done. But there are some few tricks to help you to do that. The first thing you can do that personally helped me the most is you can write it down. If you have a traumatic experience that you know specifically, you can write it down on a piece of paper and with that relive this day, relive this traumatic experience. And you need to do this. It will be uncomfortable, it will suck, but you need to relive this traumatic experience so then you can finally release the pent-up emotion inside of you. An example is as simple. Let's say you've been abused when you were a child. You need to now think back to your childhood with writing it down, with writing specific moments down. And then as soon as you write down those things, suddenly you will feel a rush of emotion. Then and there you need to release that emotion. Maybe it's anger, and then you shout into your room and be angry as fuck. But you need to do this, you need to release it. Or you feel sad and then you release tears, but you need to do it, you need to just release tears. And this will probably take multiple times, especially if it's some pent-up trauma or some really drastic trauma. This will take multiple times to finally get rid of that trauma and to finally be healed. So you need to do this multiple times. So the first time you maybe cry for a bit, then the second time you shout, then the third time you cry even more. But after, let's say 5 times or 6 times of reliving this experience, you will be rid of that trauma because you've released all pent-up emotion. If you don't know a specific event in your life, but you still have trauma, then what you can do is you can start from your childhood with writing down your life. You can start from your childhood till right now with writing down what happened in your life. And then when you write down your life experience, suddenly you will feel a rush of emotion, and most likely a negative rush of emotion with tears or with anger. With that you realize you've stumbled across some trauma, and then you need to release that emotion. Another trick people use to deal with trauma is speak about it. They speak about this event with friends, with loved ones, or with a psychiatrist or a therapist. They speak about it so they can relive this experience. And then they cry, they feel angry. But that's good because they need to release the pent-up emotion. Another thing that also helps to release trauma is something I call meditation. Basically, it's trauma meditation. And this isn't something very spiritual or something very complicated. No, it's quite simple. What you need to do is go to a place that you feel safe, that you feel secure, and then and there you sit and relive this experience, relive this moment that gave you this trauma. Then and there, you need to release every emotion that comes when you think about it. And then over time, if you do this multiple times for the same experience, you will be healed of that trauma. So basically, how you can deal with trauma and process trauma is you need to release the pent-up emotion, and you do this by re-experiencing and reliving the traumatic event. It will be uncomfortable and it will hurt, it will suck, but it is necessary for you to finally deal with your unprocessed trauma. If you have no one you can talk to about your mental health issues, I can help you. If you click the first link in the description, or if you add my Discord username, you can have access to me for free. No cost involved, no upsell, nothing. I just want to help you with either having a conversation about your mental health. Maybe I can help you to improve your mental health. And you may think, why should I offer this for free? It's simple. I want to enhance my skill of fixing mental health. I want to be an expert in fixing mental health, and to be more specific, helping other people fix their mental health. This is my dream, this is my purpose. I want to be an expert in that area. And to do so, I need experience. And I get this experience from talking with people who have mental health issues and then helping them. So, if you have mental health issues and you need someone you can to talk to, someone who needs to listen to you, or someone who can give you advice to help you to improve your mental health, then click the first link in the description or add me on Discord, and then we can have a chat, we have a call, whatever you want to do. And this completely for free, no upsell, no string attached. What is the benefit of fixing trauma? There are multiple benefits of fixing trauma. First of all, the obvious, the mental health benefits. If you release trauma and if you process and heal from traumatic events, you reduce anxiety, you reduce fear, you reduce depression. And with that, you have an overall better experience of life. Then, of course, you have better emotional regulation, because now you can actually deal with trauma. You can actually deal with your emotion. And this doesn't mean you necessarily become someone who just cries all the time or who's an emotional mess. No. You become someone who can actually deal with emotions. This means if something emotional is happening, you don't necessarily just cry or be angry. No, you realize that you need to release it, but not necessarily there and then. So you maybe go home and then you release the emotion. So you become emotionally intelligent. This is also very good. Then you increase your thinking, because when you don't have trauma inside of you, you have more mental space to be better at thinking, to be better in focus, to have better memory, to be better at decision making. And with that, you are better in literally every area of life. You are better at your business, you are better in your career, you're better in relationships, you're just better in social settings, you're better in everything when you process trauma and when you heal trauma. The physical health benefits is you have lower stress, you have improved sleep, because instead of waking up in night covered in sweat because you feel this traumatic event, you finally can sleep, and with that be healthier. And there are so many more benefits that I just don't have the time to cover. Healing trauma doesn't erase the memory. Healing trauma is a way of just releasing the emotion. It's a way of feeling the emotion that you should have felt then and there when the traumatic event happened. And healing trauma is one of the best things you can do for your physical and for your mental health. And in this video, I covered that. I covered what trauma is, I covered how you can process trauma, and I covered the benefits of trauma. So, if you want to have someone who can listen to your problems with your mental health, who can talk to you about your mental health, or someone who can give you advice to improve your mental health, then click the first link in the description or add my Discord username. There you can have direct access to me. This is completely for free, no strings attached, no upsells, nothing. I don't want your money. I just want to enhance my skill. I want to enhance my skill of mental health, and to be more specific, I want to be better at helping people with mental health. To do so, I need experience, and I need to talk to people who have mental health problems, who have depression, who have anxiety, and then I want to help them. So if I do this for long enough, I can help as many people as possible to deal with their mental health, so they can live a happier life, so can live a better life. So if you have mental health issues and you need someone you can talk to who listens and who can give you advice, then click the first link in the description or add me on Discord. On that note, I wish you a wonderful day. Take care and then get after it.